And moving now to our other top story tonight is an incident that has grabbed international headlines. And today, for the first time since sludge and sewage was released into the lower Niagara River Gorge on Saturday, the Niagara Falls Water Board finally answered some questions.
2 on your sides, Kelly Dudzik lets us know what the board had to say, brings us reaction from a local lawmaker and from you tonight. Kelly.
Adam and Mary Alice, I asked people on Twitter and Facebook tonight to describe that image of the black water at the falls in one word. And the responses range from gross to disgusting to words I can't say on TV. Here's part of today's press conference and reaction from State Senator Rob Ortt, who represents Niagara Falls.
It took 5 days for the chairman of the Niagara Falls Water Board to face the media following Saturday's sewage incident.
I want to express my personal apology and that the full board is for its inconvenience and alarming that's caused by the recent discharge of the inky black water in the lower Niagara River.
Dan O'Callaghan, who was appointed by the mayor, explained that the black discharge was released during an upgrade at the wastewater treatment plant, and as part of the upgrade, it was necessary to empty the sediment tank. He says carbon filters turn the backwash black and that this is normal. Then he offered possible causes for the sludge release.
It is clear to us that as a result of a possible human error, the possible mechanical malfunction, a large quantity of water from the sediment tank was released into the Niagara River.
Then O'Callaghan announced he wouldn't be taking questions, but that wasn't going to stop Dave McKinley.
Well, how much of this was human error?
We have no, at this time we don't know.
You don't know how much was human error?
No, we're not sure if it was human error, like I said there, if it was human error or mechanical.
Did you have sufficiently trained personnel on duty at the time?
At the present time, I can't answer those questions.
Dave had more questions, but O'Callaghan quickly put an end to the press conference.
That's it for the questions.
Dan, were those trainees that were operating?
What's your reaction to them not answering all of the questions?
Well, the reaction I have is clearly they still don't get it. The real issue clearly here is that's making people upset, and the reason the story's not going away, and the reason more like the leaders come out against it is because the way they're handling. It's really, 101. It could be an example of how not to handle a crisis.
Ortt says in order to make sure something like this doesn't happen again, he's ready to take action in the Senate.
The executive director needs to answer some tough questions, as does the chairman of the board. And if we don't get those answers, and depending on what happens with the DEC investigation, then I'm prepared to call a hearing, a Senate, hopefully a joint legislative and Senate hearing. If we have to do just Senate, we'll do that. But a hearing, we'll do it right here, or maybe we'll drag them down to Albany, but we'll get the answers, I can promise you that.
Next week, the Niagara County Legislature will consider resolutions demanding the Water Board and management resign, and it will ask the state to launch a criminal investigation. Those resolutions are non-binding, though. And as for the results of that DEC investigation, there is still no time frame for that. Kelly Dudzik, Channel 2 News.
Thank you, Kelly. And tonight we asked you to describe this situation in the Falls in one word. Here's a look at some of the top responses that we can show on TV, as Kelly mentioned. They include disgusted, embarrassed, repulsed, and sad.